Hi guys, welcome to In 5 Minutes. The next thing which we'll be discussing is Windows 7. Yeah, the most recently used and talked about Windows 7. Now when it comes to Windows 7, before going further, let's try to understand why Windows 7 is supposed to be the next big change for Microsoft. Obvious after that, on basis of the same core, they created Windows 10, which was a much better version than this. But let us first discuss Windows 7, how it was created and what was the objective. The first thing one should notice about Windows 7 is the fact that Windows 7 is available in two basic options, that is a 32-bit option as well as a 64-bit option. Since we are shifting to a higher processing power, better hardware, most of us would be today having a 64-bit variant. Other than that, while we designed Windows 7, they kept several new goals. Some of them were improvements, some of them were added. Let's try to understand security. Here we have a role-based security. Right from hard disk to every device can be decided who can access, who can only read, who can read, write both, who can create. So new rules, new security. You have an advantage of even encrypting a drive and keeping it for security. So people out there who thinks about security of that data, remember, you can always keep it secure using Windows 7. Just right click on your hard drives and select encrypt. You give your password, that will lock. BitLock is the encryption system which they are using. Reliability. Now Windows 7, this although started with the end of Windows XP, checkpoints. Windows 7 created a regular checkpoint system which is again carried in Windows 10 also, where the basic phenomena is fairly simple. You create checkpoints at a regular interval. So if something goes wrong with your Windows, you can always come back to the old checkpoint. It is like saving a file again and again, so that if something goes wrong, we can always go to the last saved version. Extendibility was a one phenomena where Windows 7 created some new things. Windows 7 is capable of running on multi-platform, as well as it is also capable of adding new modules. The concept of first time Microsoft Store came into existence with Windows 7, where from the store you can access several other details and packages and to work. This was extended with Windows 8 and finally created a big thing in Windows 10. So we can always extendability by adding some new feature packages and services. Portability. Windows 7 was not only made for the PC but was also made capable to run on several other platforms like Microsoft NetSurf, laptop, tablets and many more to work with. By the way, Microsoft would work as a tablet as a NetSurf competitor, or you can say the tablets which others are releasing are in competition with Microsoft tablet called NetSurf. You can go on the net for that. International support. This was a usual feature, but added was, this time like your mobile phones, you can go select the language and the entire Windows Outlook could change into that language. Something much similar to Android. Microsoft learned it from the Android and had their own version. The basic idea was fairly simple. If you are other than English spoken, you can always turn your PC to match language which you intend to work with. This was supported with Java's localization and Microsoft.NET's localization setting, via which you can convert entire GUI and whatever have been given into local language as they need. Energy efficiency. Hibernating, if you guys have gone through your laptops, or you would find out a mode called hibernating, a phenomena where you want your PC to work but should not consume much power, so you can hibernate. That means your PC is on, just on the click it will restart from the point where it paused and it would continue. But advantage is you don't have to boot the entire system, you can directly go with it. That created one big change in Microsoft versions, because earlier versions you only had an option of logging off that was not power efficient. We had to do power efficient setting, but Windows 7 seems to have its own setting which consumes, according to Microsoft, it saves around 30 to 25% of power compared to old versions of Microsoft which were again battery efficient. Because of this, Microsoft also planning to install this kind of OS with mobile devices and tablets. Dynamic device support. If any of you who are learning go back to Windows 98 or XP, you had one major drawback. The drawback was fairly simple. The moment you connect any external hard drive, or rather any external device, first thing your Windows would prompt you is for the device driver. Then you have to insert a CD, get the driver installed. With Windows 7, all these things stopped. You can just plug the device. Windows 7 has more than lakhs of different device drivers prepared and coded with it. Otherwise, it will go online, search for your device and device driver for it, and then get the details done. This created a big advantage which we had never had earlier. That was, we are free from keeping disk and disk drivers, because this time your Windows would take care of it. So that's it. Windows 7 was created with so many new features coming into picture. So let's try to understand how it was, or rather how it is in terms of architecture. For this video, we have just discussed advantages. There's a next video coming in, guys, in which we will be talking about the architectural part of Windows 7. Thank you.